Picture this. You plant something once in May, and every single spring for the next 20 years. It comes back bigger, fuller, and more beautiful than the year before. No replanting, no guesswork. Just a garden that gets better with age while you barely lift a finger. That's the magic of hardy perennials. And right now, in May, you are sitting in the perfect planting window. Miss it, and you wait another year, nail it, and your yard becomes the one the whole neighborhood stops to stare at. I'm going to show you 10 of the absolute best perennials to put in the ground this month. Plants that not only survive winter, but come back stronger every single time. And stick around, because number 3 on this list is the one plant that most homesteaders wish they'd discovered years earlier. It might completely change how you think about your property. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about building a resilient, productive, and beautiful homestead. Whether you're working with half an acre or 5, the right perennials are one of the smartest investments you can make. They feed your soil, attract pollinators, give you cut flowers, and some even feed your family. Let's get into it. Number 10, Black-Eyed Susan. We're starting strong with a classic. Black-Eyed Susan is one of those plants that every new homesteader discovers and never looks back. Plant it once in May, and it will self-seed, spread, and create sweeping golden drifts across your property year after year. It blooms from midsummer all the way through fall. That's weeks and weeks of those iconic yellow petals with the dark chocolate center. Goldfinches go absolutely wild for the seed heads in late autumn, so if you leave them standing through winter, you're also creating a wildlife feeding station. Plant them in full sun. They thrive in dry, poor soil. Honestly, the worse the soil, the more they seem to thrive. Space them about 18 inches apart and water them in well. After that, they're basically on their own. This is a 100% low-maintenance perennial and the perfect place to start our list. Number 9, catmint. Catmint might be one of the most underrated perennials in American gardening. It's not the same as catnip, though yes, cats do love it, but it is absolutely stunning in the landscape. Soft lavender blue flower spikes rise above silvery gray foliage from late spring all the way into summer. And if you shear it back after the first flush, it blooms again in fall. For homesteaders, catmint is a pollinator powerhouse. Bees mob it. Butterflies love it. It deters aphids and other soft-bodied pests with its aromatic oils, making it a great companion plant near vegetable beds. Plant in full sun to light shade. It's drought-tolerant once established, which makes it perfect for those hot, dry American summers. Space plants 18 to 24 inches apart. It spreads gently over time, creating beautiful soft mounds that look incredible along walkways or at the front of borders. Number 8, coneflower. You knew Echinacea was going to be on this list, and for good reason. This is one of the workhorses of the perennial garden. Planted in May, and by midsummer you'll have tall, sturdy stems topped with daisy-like flowers in shades of purple, pink, orange, and white. But here's what makes Echinacea special beyond just the looks. It's a proven medicinal herb. The roots, leaves, and flowers have been used for centuries to support immune health. If you're building a homestead with a focus on self-sufficiency, having a patch of Echinacea is not just beautiful, it's practical. Echinacea is deeply drought-resistant once established. It thrives in USDA zones 3 through 9, which covers most of the continental US. Full sun is ideal, but it tolerates partial shade. Leave the seed heads in fall and winter. Goldfinches and sparrows will thank you for it. Divide clumps every 3 to 4 years in spring to keep them vigorous and to multiply your patch for free. Number 7, salvia. If you've ever seen a well-established salvia patch in full bloom, you know exactly why it's on this list. Dense, upright spikes of deep violet-blue flowers rise above clean, aromatic foliage, and bees treat it like a 5-star restaurant. It's one of the top pollinator plants you can grow. Salvia nemorosa is incredibly tough. It handles heat, drought, and humidity far better than most perennials. It blooms in late spring to early summer and reblooms if you cut it back after the first flush. Varieties like Caradonna and May Night are especially vigorous and stunning. Full sun is a must. Well-drained soil is important. Don't plant it in soggy spots. Space plants 18 inches apart. Once established, divide every few years to keep the clumps healthy. This is a plant that gets better with age, wider, fuller, and with more flower spikes every single year. Number 6, daylily. Daylilies might be the toughest perennial on this entire list. They grow in almost every state. They handle drought, poor soil, clay, slopes, and neglect better than almost any other flowering plant. Plant them in May, and they'll reward you with blooms as early as June. Each flower only lasts one day. That's where the name comes from. But each plant produces dozens of buds, so you get weeks of color. Modern hybrids come in every color imaginable: red, gold, peach, burgundy, bicolors. Choose Stella de Oro for a compact rebloomer, or go with the classic tawny orange. Full sun to partial shade. They multiply rapidly. A single plant can become a clump of 20 or more in just a few years. That means you divide them and spread them across your property for free. Some homesteaders also harvest and eat the buds. Yes, they're edible. Sauté them in butter or add them to stir fries for a mild, sweet flavor. Number 5. Russian sage. Russian sage is where function meets pure drama in the garden. By midsummer, it explodes into towering columns of silvery stems covered in tiny lavender blue flowers. It can reach 3 to 5 feet tall and creates an airy, billowing effect that makes every other plant around it look better. It's a xeriscaping champion, and once established, it wants almost no supplemental water. In fact, overwatering will kill it faster than drought. Plant it in full sun with excellent drainage and forget about it. It handles the baking heat of a southern summer and the bitter cold of a northern winter with equal grace. Deer and rabbits leave it completely alone due to its aromatic oils. Bees and butterflies absolutely love it. It's the perfect back-of-border plant. Cut it back hard, to about 6 inches, in early spring, and it will come back even bushier than before. Number 4. Karl Forster featherreed grass. I know what you're thinking. Grass? On a perennial list? But hear me out, because Karl Forster grass might change your entire approach to landscaping. This ornamental grass emerges early in spring, shoots up to 5 or 6 feet. It features feathery golden plumes in summer and stands through snow in winter. It's a 4-season plant. For homesteaders and people with acreage, it's invaluable as a privacy screen, a windbreak accent, or to stabilize slopes and banks. It creates movement and sound in the garden. That gentle rustling in the breeze is something special. It's also a nesting habitat for beneficial insects and birds. Full sun to partial shade. It tolerates clay soil, wet spots, and drought once established. Divide every 3 to 4 years in spring. It's completely deer-resistant. Cut it back to about 6 inches in late winter before new growth emerges. Plant it in May, and by August you'll have a statement plant. Number 3. Peonies. Okay, we've reached number 3, and this is the one I promised you. If you only plant one perennial this May, make it this one. Plant peonies. Here's why peonies are different from everything else on this list. They don't just come back. They come back for 50 to 100 years. There are peonies growing in American gardens today that were planted during the Great Depression. Peonies outlive the people who plant them. They outlive entire generations. And every single year, they come back bigger, fuller, and more spectacular than the year before. The flowers are extraordinary. Huge, full, deeply fragrant blooms in shades of white, blush pink, deep red, and coral. They bloom in late May to June, right when the rest of the perennial garden is still warming up. A mature peony clump in full bloom is one of the most breathtaking things you will ever see in a home garden. Now, and this is critical, peonies need to be planted correctly in May. The eyes, which are the deep red buds at the crown of the plant, need to be no more than 1 to 2 inches below the soil surface. Too deep and they will not bloom. This is the number one mistake people make with peonies, and it's why so many people think they can't grow them. Plant in full sun, at least 6 hours daily. Well-drained soil is essential. They hate wet feet. Once planted, leave them alone. Don't divide them. Don't move them. Just let them settle in. The first year, they may not bloom much. The second year, better. By year 3, you will have a peony clump that stops people in their tracks. And from there, it only gets better every single year. For homesteaders, peonies are also cut flower gold. A mature clump will give you dozens of blooms every spring. Enough to fill your house, give to neighbors, or even sell at a farmer's market. They are a long-term investment in beauty, abundance, and joy on your property. Number 2, Baptisia. We're in the home stretch now, and number 2 is a plant that every serious homesteader needs to know about. Baptisia, also called false indigo or wild indigo, is a native North American perennial that forms a large shrub-like mound topped with stunning indigo purple flower spikes. It's a nitrogen fixer. That means its roots host bacteria that pull nitrogen from the air and deposit it in the soil, just like beans and clover. Plant Baptisia in May, and over the years it will actually improve the soil around it. For the homesteader focused on building soil health and long-term fertility, that's enormous. It's also deeply drought-tolerant, deer-resistant, and completely maintenance-free once established. It takes 3 years to really hit its stride, but once it does, a mature Baptisia plant is a stunning shrub-sized perennial that needs absolutely nothing from you. Full sun to light shade. Deep taproot means you should plant it exactly where you want it, Moving it is difficult after year 1. And here we are. Number 1, the best perennial you can plant in May. The one that ties together beauty, fragrance, medicine, culinary use, pollinator support, and homestead practicality into a single extraordinary plant. Lavender. English lavender, Lavandula angustifolia, is hardy in zones 5 through 8, and with the right variety, even zone 4. Planted in May in full sun with perfect drainage, and you are setting yourself up for decades of reward. It blooms from early to midsummer, filling the air with that fragrance. For the homestead, lavender is a multi-use plant unlike almost anything else. Dry the flowers for sachets. Use it in the kitchen. Lavender shortbread, lavender honey, lavender lemonade. Make lavender infused oil for skincare. Bundle fresh cut stems to hang in the barn to repel flies. The uses are practically endless. Plant lavender in the sunniest, best drained spot on your property. Raised beds work beautifully. Amend heavy clay with coarse sand and gravel. Space plants 18 to 24 inches apart. They will grow and spread until you have a fragrant hedge that anchors your entire property. Cut back by 1/3 after flowering to encourage bushy, productive growth. Lavender is number 1 because it gives back more than any other plant on this list. It's the heart of the homestead garden. Planted in May, and you will be grateful every single spring for the rest of your life. If you learned something today, hit that thumbs up. It helps more homesteaders find this channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time. I put out new homestead and gardening content every week, and there is a lot more coming that you don't want to miss. Tell me in the comments, which of these perennials are you planting this May? And is there one you've been growing for years that I didn't mention? Drop it below. I read every single comment. Thanks for watching and happy planting.